listen, I just want realness. And Stacy gets up from the table and she's mad. Honestly, I've never seen Stacy ever do that before. Stacy normally just stays.
Yeah, and it's funny, but that's what you do, Giselle.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode number 16, Driving on Empty.
Now, did you realize that this was the season finale? Because they never said it, but then at the end, they started doing Right? They never said it.
Yeah. They never said it because then there's another episode next week.
Is that the sit down with Karen?
Yes.
Okay, because I saw some clips on social media today of Andy interviewing Karen, and I was like, I didn't see that. We saw her come out of the jail, but I didn't see them sit down. So I didn't miss anything. That's next week.
That's next week, yeah.
Oh, so that's going to be considered the season finale.
I mean, technically it's going to be, but yes, this was with the whole cast. I mean, she wasn't on the season, so yeah.
Right. One more question. Do you think Giselle realizes what a horrible person she came off as this season? Or do you think that there's just no self-awareness there at all and she's fine?
I think that she thinks she's fine. I don't think she's aware. I think there's zero self-awareness. I don't think she thinks that she's done anything wrong. I think she feels that she's justified in every word and action that she's made.
Yeah, it's very Tamra, Teresa. It's very, I've never been a huge fan of Giselle. I'm kind of floored by the lack of self-awareness with her though, and how mean she really was this season. Because although this trip wasn't the best trip, and I don't blame her for being upset about certain things, before this trip, she was just horrible to Angel the whole season.
She was horrible, and I was watching the after show. I didn't finish it, but I was watching the after show.
I actually did watch that as well.
She was on with Tia, and she still was giving Angel no grace. And Tia was trying to, it's ridiculous. It's like, how long are you going to hold on to this for?
And I get it. Like that trip to Colorado was bad. It was a bad trip.
It was bad, but what she knows the behind the scenes. She knows the behind the scenes. Right.
And Giselle, you threw one good trip to Nevis. One. In 10 years, one good trip. And you're acting like you're the hostess with the mostest. And you're just not. You still had a launch party for your podcast in your dirt driveway. Like, don't pat yourself on the back that hard yet.
That was her podcast launch party?
Yeah, that was the podcast launch party because I remember the picture of her and Giselle, Robin.
I didn't even remember what that party was for.
Yeah.
Well, then she had a celebration for her. What was it?
100th episode. Yeah.
No,
that
maybe
looked like a nice party.
No, wait.
You were just missing your partner.
Right. No, I think that was like maybe 1 million downloads. I don't think it was the 100th episode.
Maybe it was 1 million.
I think it was 1 million downloads. Yeah.
Which
or
is
10 million.
Very
I don't
impressive.
know. Oh, yes. Yes. By the way, we just hit 100,000 downloads.
Oh,
we broke 100,000. Yeah.
We're right at your heels, Giselle.
Kind of.
Not really.
No.
Right there.
So we start out this day. It's day 2 in Colorado. It's where we left off. We're at Kimosabi still. And Giselle announces that they're all going back to the Four Seasons and that she has dinner ready and she's got a suite and they have brunch set up in the morning and that they can be leaving afterwards. And Angel's like, no, I have other activities planned in the morning. And Giselle said, we'll leave it up to the ladies, whatever they want to do. Which, okay, I think that's kind of fair at this point.
At this point, I actually do think it's fair.
Yeah, I do too.
In addition to the timing of the excursion and when they all had to be at the airport. Like, I don't think Angel thought this one out very well, but they were also supposed to be in that house. Like, who knows, that house that they were supposed to be in, that could have been very close to the excursion.
It could have been. We'll never know.
Right. We'll never know. We'll never know. I think everybody at this point, including us, just wants to put this trip behind us
Yeah, I definitely think so.
and no longer dissect it.
Yeah. So Tia asked, well, what are the other activities? And she's, Angel's like, well, I have, some beautiful guides set up to go fly fishing, and there's a private chef there, and we're going to have a open fire lunch afterwards. What's up to you? And Monique said to Giselle, like, love you, but I'd rather go look at some guides, some, beautiful guides. And Wendy, which I thought was nice, said, is there any way like we can do the brunch and do the fly fishing? So they
Well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe the brunch pushed them out later.
Well, I think it was a combination of stuff too. So I think what wound up happening was, yes, I definitely think the brunch pushed them out later. Giselle says to Angel, well, are you staying the night with us? And Angel's like, yeah. But then when they get back, they're like, everyone's like, well, how are we going to get our clothes? Now, I don't know why this was left up to Angel. I don't know why someone didn't send for their clothes, because they knew that they needed their clothes.
I mean, come on. The producers should have taken care of this.
Right, because this is really where the problem
have been
was.
a thing. Right.
This is where the problem was. So Angel, when they get back there, she's like, well, if you guys want, after this dinner, there's a place down the road you can walk to where they have the bull riding. And there's a bar there. And Ashley wants to do that. And so did Monique? Jassy. That's right. Jassy and Ashley.
She wasn't as, I don't know what the word I'm looking for was. Hoish about it as Ashley was. But yes, Jassy wanted to do it too. So I'm just going to call it like it is now.
Yeah, no, that's what wound up happening. So then what wound up happening is Angel, Thea, and Kay all leave to go back to the house to get all their stuff. And then by the time they get back, I don't know if they went back to the Four Seasons. They must have.
It wasn't. Oh, wait. Angel, Tia, and Kay. No, I don't think they did go back. Didn't they just go out?
No,
and then they got home at 1 a.m. They got back out of the bar at 1 a.m. And then they were supposed to go home, get their stuff, and come back to the Four Seasons. And by 1 a.m., they were like, no, we're not doing that. I thought that's what happened.
So
I thought Jassy and Ashley went to the big house to get all the other girls' stuff and then came back and then they went out. No?
Think so. The way I understood what happened was that the ladies, the three, the Angel, Tia, and Kay left after dinner to go get the stuff because they didn't have anything but except for what they were wearing.
See, what's weird? Normally, even if we don't see them recording it that night, the next morning when they're talking about what happened the night before, we see flashbacks of what they were doing at the bar, right? We didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they clearly went because when Ashley walked in the door, they were all like pretending that they were riding the bull. So it happened. We know that. But we normally see like flashbacks.
We do normally see flashbacks. And Angel said it was going to take 2 hours to go there, get the clothes, and come back.
Right.
And they got to the suite at 8:20 to eat. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what happened by the time they went and got the clothes and came back. Maybe they did go back to the Four Seasons. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the timing was, but I do believe that is why they wound up staying at the house. That's why they didn't stay at the Four Seasons, because the three of them never wound up staying there at the Four Seasons.
Right.
I don't know. I
thought they went out with them after dinner.
No, they didn't go out, though.
Okay. And I thought that once the bar was done at 1 a.m., they were like, shit, we're just going home. We're not going home, packing our shit and coming back. That's what I thought happened. Well, maybe they'll break it down at the reunion.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they will. I did think it was interesting, though, when the ladies go around the piano and Giselle starts playing attempts to play the piano because she wasn't very good at it. And they're making up a song about the trip and they all had like their own line, their own verse.
I have to be honest with you. I was so annoyed at that because I thought it was so mean. I fast forwarded. I don't even know what they said. Yeah. I was like, I just felt like Giselle was so nasty at this point. So bitter, so jealous.
She was. She was definitely bitter. She was.
She's just a bitter, miserable woman.
Yeah, she really was.
Yeah.
She was.
So I hit the fast forward button.
Yeah,
just
that's
through
what
that
Angel
scene,
said. Angel said by the time they finished packing up everyone's stuff, it was 1 a.m. And then they'd have to drive another hour to get it back. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but something happened.
Okay. So maybe they had dinner with them, didn't go to the bar, then went back to Angel's house, started packing, and by the time they were done, it was 1 a.m. and they were like, "Well, what the hell are we going to go sit in the car for another hour to go to the Four Seasons to sleep for 5 hours?"
Right, exactly.
Got it.
So in the morning, they're going to meet them at the fly fishing place. Those 3 ladies are going to miss the brunch, and they're going to meet them at the fly fishing place. So is driving. She's the one driving them. The other ladies are being driven by a driver.
Yeah.
But I would imagine they all had the same address. So I don't really know what happened with this whole driving situation.
I don't either, but I tell you what, it's not a good look for Angel's business.
No, it's not.
Really not.
No.
Yeah, this was kind of a disaster, especially when the chef dropped all those steaks.
I know. Oh, it was like, oh my God.
He saved them. He got them quick, but I was like, oh no, we don't need anything else going wrong.
And I just wonder what happened to all that food, like all that food he cooked. Like, where did that go?
Well, obviously, let's hope they ate. I'm sure there had to be some cameramen and producers there. So hopefully production got some. I don't know.
I don't know either, but they start showing us times until departure on the screen. And the first time we get is 5 hours and 34 minutes before their flight departs. And Tia, Angel, and Kay are 33 miles south of the hotel, the Four Seasons.
And
I don't know.
I don't think it's like Jersey where if you're on the Parkway and you're at exit 90 and you're going to Manahawkin, which is exit 67, in your head, you're like, all right, I'm like a half hour away. Right. I don't think it's like that. I don't think 33 miles takes a half hour where they are.
No, I think that they're going down windy roads and maybe they're going 30 miles an hour if they're lucky.
Right, exactly. Like we're here in we're just, however many miles, it's like, all right, a minute a mile. That's how long it should take for the most part, unless there's traffic.
Yeah. So Monique is saying the other ladies are in the car and they start leaving. And Monique is saying that she missed her morning routine with her mom. She normally talks to her mom every day when she has her coffee, and she didn't do that today. And then Ashley asked Giselle if she talked to her mom, if she had anything like that with her mom. And she's like, well, we talk like once a week, which I really was actually surprised about. And she said, my mom actually talks to my girls more than she talks to me.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because I was trying to think. I'm like, do we know much about? I don't think we've heard much about her mom over the years.
We really haven't.
We've always heard more about her dad.
About her dad. Yeah, we have. Yeah.
But we know that her parents were divorced, obviously, and then her mom, moved back to Texas, where she was from? Was that where it was? Texas?
I think it was Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Texas.
So maybe just the distance. It's like they don't see each other that much. So yeah, I mean, a phone call once a week when you're out of state, I think that's nice.
Yeah. So then in the other car, Stacy is talking. It's Stacy, Jassy, and Wendy, and they're talking. And Stacy says to Jassy that she was a little surprised to see her kikiing with Charisse at the family fun day and sharing numbers. And because she knew how she knew how Stacy felt about Charisse. And she's like, I was really hurt and I was shocked by it. And Jassy said, well, I'm really sorry. And I was surprised. Jassy said to Wendy, how do you think I should have handled that? I was very surprised that she did that.
What? I feel like Jassy does that probably a lot. We just don't see it. I think Jassy is, and I get it, I think she's just trying to get a spot. Right? And she is like what Stacy said, like when you're everybody's friend, you're really nobody's friend. Kind of, I get that vibe from Jassy. I like Jassy, and I hope she does get a spot because they have to do something with this cast because it is not working. But I could see her asking Wendy because I think at this point, Wendy's kind of in a good place with everybody.
Yeah, she appears to be. She does. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. And so Jassy said, listen, it was the first time I was meeting with her and I didn't want to be rude. And Wendy says, the loyalty that you expect to Stacy, that you expect from your friends, you better damn sure well be able to reciprocate it. And Stacy was like, well, I think that Jassy knows that based on our relationship that I've been loyal to her. And that's when Jassy's like, let's be clear about one thing. Like, I know that your initial plan was not to come to my wedding. You didn't decide to come to my wedding until you found out that Ashley and Wendy were coming. And I guess Stacy thought that Wendy was just going to be quiet, but that's not what happened. So Wendy, Jassy asks Wendy, and Wendy's like, she's holding her ears and she's screaming. She's like, yeah, like, we're going there? Okay, we're going there. She said, Stacy's like, I had a lot going on with my launch. And Jassy's like, yeah, well, I gave you the date long before you had this launch that you were doing. Stacy's like, yeah, well, I made it happen. And Wendy's like, no, like this is how it was. And
I do think so basically, but it comes out Wendy called Stacy and was like, no, you have to prioritize this. And she was like, okay. So yes, I think initially like the blow off was there. But once
right,
Wendy kind of checked her and was like, no, that's not how we
right,
conduct our business. This is how we
right.
conduct our business. Stacey was like, no problem. So I understand Jassy being annoyed. And I also understand Jassy's feeling like if you expect me to not take Sharice's phone number, then what you did was really effed up. But I think Stacy saying anything to Jassy about getting Sharice's phone number. I'm sure Sharice initiated that. And what was Jassy supposed to do? I'm sorry, I can't do that. Stacy's my friend. Nobody would
No,
do that. That's
nobody would do that.
ridiculous.
No, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So then one of the next times we see is there's 3 hours and 6 minutes until their flights depart.
The countdown was very funny.
Yes. Angel realizes that her GPS is taking her in the opposite direction of where they're going fly fishing, and they show it to you on the map.
Angel, do you even really live in Colorado? Because now I'm questioning everything. Where do you live, Angel?
I know, poor Angel. I guess she just
I
doesn't have
know.
a good sense of direction.
I don't think she does. I don't think she does.
Then on the other car, Ashley tells Monique that she asked Chris Samuels if he was banging Stacy. And Monique said, well, what was his response? And she said, well, he just made this face like, I'm like, come on,
And took a sip of his
Ashley.
drink. And Monique
Yeah.
said, you never told me that. And she's like, oh, I never told you that? No, you didn't tell her that, Ashley, because it's not true and you just made it up on this car ride now. And Giselle in her confessional being like, I don't know why Ashley hasn't told Monique that yet, because it's a lie and she just made it up.
Yeah.
Because at this point, they can say whatever they want about Chris Samuels. And then Ashley turns around and says that Bobby is the one who told Chris Samuels? Stop it.
Yep.
I mean, that is a reach if I've ever seen a reach, right?
Yeah. I know. It's like, why are you even getting involved in this? Seriously.
Exactly. This was like buried weeks ago.
Yeah. Angel's worried about the ladies because she hasn't heard from them. Then we see there's 2 hours and 44 minutes to the flight. Stacy is over trying to explain to Jassy what happened, that we didn't speak for a long time. She's like, can I be heard? She brings up this thing about a recording. She said, we didn't speak a long time because you and I were on the phone talking about this friendship group. And all of a sudden, I heard this call is being recorded. And what was that about? Now, I still don't know what that's about. I don't know, because then Jassy said, yeah, I said that to you.
Right.
So who?
Somebody was recording somebody, and they're both saying that they.
Right. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe that will come up at the
Stacey
reunion.
recording a conversation before I could see Jassy doing it, quite honestly. Dare I
No.
say.
I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest with you, but hopefully that does come up at the reunion.
Yeah. I would hope that would, yeah.
Yeah. Then it goes left. Like Stacy's like, if you want to talk about her feelings, we can talk about that all day long. Like, but where's the lie? Because Jassy kept saying that there was a lie. And Jassy says to Stacy, are you effing dumb? Are you dumb? Are you actually dumb? I was like, where did that come from? Like, why did she get so? The only thing I can think of is she got so mad. because she was the one that was lying about the recording. Like,
Yeah.
why else would she have reacted like that?
No, you're right. You're right. Because that's what happens when somebody knows they're lying and they can't get out of it. They're like they're like a cornered rat and they just start
Right.
lashing out. So you're right. That's
Right?
probably what
I mean,
happened. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
boy, the next time we see is 2 hours and 31 minutes until departure, and
Tick
uh,
tock.
23 miles from the fly fishing spot is Giselle's car and
They
Wendy's
were
car.
close.
They're all pulling over to stop and go to the bathroom at the gas station, and they're starving.
But again, it said 23 miles, but somebody said we're still an hour away.
Right, right. And it's 2 hours and 31 minutes until their departure, and they still have to get to the airport. We don't know how far the airport is from the fly fishing spot.
Right. Right.
Because they never told us that. I mean, we saw it on the map, but I don't know what the distance was.
Right. Or the time. Yeah.
Right.
Cutting it way too close.
Yeah. So the ladies go to the ladies' room and they decide that they're going to get food at the food truck because they're starving and they want to eat before they get on the plane.
I don't know if I'd want to eat that before I get on a plane, though.
I know, but I guess you got to do what you got to do, right?
You do. But Monique was like, I'm just going to have to get some French fries. I thought that would be me. That's what
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
be able to get.
I would do too. That's exactly what I would do too.
Yeah.
Then they FaceTime with Angel and she finds out that they're at the gas station. Angel then tells them that she was going in the wrong direction and that she's 3 hours away. I'm like, oh boy. Ashley starts like, if we all stayed together at the Four Seasons, like this wouldn't have happened.
She's probably right. Although if they got the wrong address, they got the wrong address.
Oh, wait, no, it says I have written down the airport is 2 hours from the excursion.
Right. And they were still an hour away from the excursion. So at least, hopefully, that meant they were only an hour from the airport. But
Hopefully.
still, time is like ticking away. And it sounds like they were all on different flights.
Yes, it did, because then Giselle said, so how's my friend Tia getting to the airport? And I'm like, oh, wait, because, yeah, she's further away, and I don't know. I don't know what was happening there. I don't know. And honestly, I don't think we find out, because I don't think it matters at this point, right?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We just all need this trip to end.
Meanwhile, back at
least we know they're all home safe because we saw them all in the after show.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. At the fly fishing excursion, Angel calls up Nina, her Wonderland lady, and lets them know that they're not coming. And the chef is like, oh, okay. Literally gave out a big sigh. He's like, I was like, oh, I felt so bad for him.
I did too. Because she's like, how much longer? He's like, oh, about a half hour. Mm-hmm. So you figured, but they were still, even if they didn't have to go to the airport, they were still an hour away. Like this guy, like, you're trying to feed these people and you want the food to be hot and they're an hour away and you're a half hour until you're done. And I would have been stressed. That's for sure.
Yeah. So then back at the gas station, Monique is saying, how do we go from a private jet to gas station food? Which is so true. It is so true.
Yeah. Yeah. The trip took a 180.
Yeah. And Jassie's telling Giselle what happened with the argument between her and Stacy and Charisse exchanging phone numbers. And of course, Giselle has to put her 2 cents in.
Mm-hmm.
Then Wendy jumps in and says, like, listen, I just want realness. And Stacy gets up from the table and she's mad. She gets up and she walks away. And I really, honestly, I've never seen Stacy ever do that before. Like, Stacy normally just stays.
Yeah. And it's funny because did Giselle say something about her getting up and walking away? That's what you do, Giselle.
Right. That's what Giselle does.
Because you're not smart enough to handle the confrontation, just like other housewives I won't mention. But that's what happens. You walk away because you're not intelligent enough to go do the back and forth.
I think Stacy walked away because she was upset with Wendy and she talked about it on the after show. Her and Wendy have a real friendship. They really are friends. And Wendy not having her back, especially in front of Giselle.
And I don't even think it was Wendy not having her back, because I think Wendy was doing the right thing and telling the truth, and she definitely like kind of flew off the handle, but as someone who can fly off the handle, I get it. But I think all she did was say the truth, and Stacey didn't like that.
Right. Right. In her confessional, Stacey said that, she felt like Wendy challenging her was like a dagger to her heart. And like I said, I think she was just hurt. It wasn't even so
Yeah.
much that she couldn't handle it, because she can. Stacey can handle herself. She can, 100%.
Absolutely. Better than most on that show.
Did you see her on Watch What Happens Live?
I didn't. I watched the after show. I didn't watch What Happens Live.
So I didn't finish watching Watch What Happens Live, and I didn't take notes, but somebody in the audience asked her a question, and she gave, I don't remember what the answer was, but
I
she
think
gave
I
the
saw a clip
perfect.
of that.
Okay, that
How
was
she's
epic.
loved and in a great relationship, and Giselle just doesn't know what that looks like.
Yes, exactly.
100% chef's kiss to that answer, because that
Absolutely.
is facts.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. She paused for a second before she gave her answer. And then when she finished giving her answer, she did like a
Mm-hmm.
pose. And Andy looks at her and said, "Did you do pageants?" She goes, "No, why?" He goes, "Because you just gave a pageant face." And she just continued to do it because that's what she does. Like, she also did a sell off with, who was she on with? Was she on with the woman from Married to Medicine? Andy gave her an item to sell. It was like
My
moon
God.
shoes. It was so funny. And then the other Married to Medicine woman, the item to sell. And everyone, Stacey won because she could sell anything. She just is so confident in the words that she says. And
For
it
sure.
comes across as believable. I
Mhm.
really like her. I really do. And
I
Andy's
do
like, "This is
too.
why I love you, Stacey. Like, this is why I love you." With that pageant answer and that pageant pose at the end. It was
She's so
just,
unbothered. She's
she
so
really
unbothered.
is. Yep. So then we get at the end, we get they're ending things, right? So Stacy and Timo are still going strong, but have no plans to remarry, as the ink on the sealed divorce papers is too fresh if they did. Jassy would not be invited to the wedding. Okay.
Yeah.
After a 2-year battle, I was sad to hear, Giselle lost the fight over her father's will.
That was very surprising. That was
But
very
I
surprising.
know. I was very surprised to see that.
There
I was
must have
very surprised.
been, I don't know, I don't do probate. I never have, but there must have been some serious proof that this man was of his right mind when that will got changed. But it's still very surprising because she was clearly very close with her father, and it's surprising that he would cut her out of anything and her
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah, I was sorry to hear that.
I was too. Even though I don't like her, I was sorry to hear that.
Exactly, because it just doesn't sound right. It
No,
just
it
doesn't
doesn't.
sound right.
But we only know one side of the story, though, too.
We do.
And then it said, but one loss did not overshadow a big win. Giselle's daughter, Angel, became a member of, I guess that was her sorority.
It must have been, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. 3 months after the Colorado trip, Wendy and Eddie were arrested for fraud. They are facing felony charges and, if convicted, up to 15 years in prison.
I will tell you what, I got the chills when I saw 15 years.
Yeah.
But listen, not to bring her up, but didn't Teresa and Joe Giudice, like, didn't they scheme way more money? And she did 1 year and he did 3? Like, I thought they were in the millions with, like, mortgage fraud and wire fraud and bank fraud and all the frauds.
Well, they pled guilty, so there was a deal.
Got
There's
it.
They could have been facing 15 years in prison, but then they pled guilty.
Right.
We don't
I
know.
mean,
I
they
don't know
got
what they were
bankruptcy,
facing.
fraud, everything.
Yeah.
All the fraud.
Yeah.
Got it.
Ashley's second bloom has her second guessing Josh. They've broken up and gotten back together several times. Yeah, we know that.
Ashley, you're a damn liar. You're a fraud, Ashley. You're a fraud.
She continues to write her next chapter of life, including a children's book.
Dear Lord in heaven, she is the last person on this God-given earth that should be writing a children's book.
I know.
I mean, come on. Are you going to talk about riding the bull in the book?
I don't know what she's going to talk about.
It's so stupid.
I don't know. Kay and Greg are better than ever, but she's still prioritizing her med spa business over marriage. The picture frame remains the only link from the jewelry store in her possession.
You know what I really hope for Kay? I really hope for Kay that Greg proposes off camera, off season, while they're not filming.
I
I
don't
really hope
know.
that for her.
I don't know that they're endgame.
I don't know if they are either. I'll be honest. I agree with you.
Tia and her sister are continuing to build a relationship. What isn't continuing is house parties thrown by the kids, at least that she's aware of. Her husband was home, though.
I know. That's the best part.
I know, right?
They probably told their father, like, oh, we're just going to have like 15 people. And then all of a sudden,
Right.
60 are at the house.
Right. Listen, I love that the kids
Because you
called the
can get
police.
away with that with the dad. You can't get it. Like, if they say that to us, we're like, bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Double or triple that.
But again, I like that the kids are the ones that called the police.
Mm-hmm.
Smart enough to take care of it.
Exactly. It's so funny.
Angel and Bobby are still living in Colorado, but they say they have purchased a $2 million home in Potomac. What does that mean?
I thought that was really interesting wording.
Me too.
They say they bought a $2 million home in Potomac and Tia was not the realtor, which was also very surprising to me. Because if this is what she does for wealthy people, why wouldn't you just use her? You weren't working with another realtor because Bobby said it himself. Bobby said it himself. Why are we looking at Zillow? And who was she working with? The realtor that told Wendy that she wanted something for $1,000 a month? I'm sure after that conversation, she wasn't using her anymore.
Well, there was that realtor that brought him to that house, but maybe she was the listing realtor. But
right,
I don't know.
Right. I don't know, but I wonder if she... I thought the wording was very interesting that they say... couldn't production fact check that before they did the conclusions of the season?
They did it on purpose. I think they did it on purpose. Giselle said that one thing I know for sure is the Grand Dam would have not made it through this trip. And she said, I think it's good thing she's in a better place right now, prison. I was like, okay, that's a little shady.
I don't think Karen would have lasted as long as they did.
No, I don't.
In that
I don't
house
think she
with
would
no
either.
water.
No. And then we see 2 months later, Montgomery. She's, Montgomery County Detention Center. Karen walks out of jail and she gets into the car. Once she's inside the car, you could see all the cameras were in there. Like, they have her right there.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know if that was the actual footage, to be quite honest with you. Because when she got out of jail, I don't remember seeing her at all. I just remember them showing us on the news the outside of the car, and you could hear her voice, but you couldn't see her. I don't ever remember seeing her wearing those dreads or the jeans or any of that.
I don't ever remember that either. I do think not only because we saw footage from Real Housewives of New Jersey, I believe when you're released, it's typically in the dark, like in the middle of the night. It's typically, well, maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe not county. I didn't think it would be in broad daylight, like at 11 a.m. Like, okay, Karen Huger's going to walk out of the courthouse now.
Well, out of the jail. But that's what the news showed. But like I said, I don't ever remember seeing her. I remember hearing her voice. They showed you a dark car window.
Mm-hmm.
So I think and I could be wrong. I think that they reshot that of her getting into the car and then the footage in the car. I don't know.
Probably. And
we probably never will know. And it doesn't really matter. I just was pointing out that they're not fooling me.
What am I, a chump?
Exactly. Well,
no,
I'm curious to see.
Over our eyes, bravo.
I'm curious to see what she has to say. Stacey did say that on Watch What Happens Live that she was very surprised at the questions Andy asked. It was the questions that she had and everyone else had, and she was very surprised as to how honest and forthcoming Karen was with her answers.
Okay. Was Stacey ever on a season with Karen? I was just trying to think about that. I don't think she was. No, wait a minute. Maybe her first season. No, because
I think
only her second season. And this is the first season Karen's not on.
Yeah, she was only sentenced to 1 year and she only served 6 months, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
she was on one
next week
season with
is
her.
an episode with Karen, and then we'll have the reunion.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm happy that this season of Potomac is over. I felt like Giselle was so incredibly mean. I did not enjoy watching her at all. She and Ashley bring zero to the table. And the fact that they're considered the OGs on the show now because Karen wasn't on and everyone else is gone, I don't think that they're doing a very good job at their job. I think they were
I
both a
agree.
mess this season.
I agree. Because their sole purpose is to bring somebody down,
Yes.
to bring down the new person. I mean, first it was Wendy,
Mhm.
then it was Stacy,
Mhm.
and now it's Angel. Like, that's all they do.
That's all they do. And it's typically people who are like happy in relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, Wendy and Angel were. Stacy's was a little confusing, but yeah, I don't, because I was thinking about Beverly Hills. I'm like, I really am enjoying Beverly Hills right now. And there's the stuff with the annoying little sister Amanda, but other than that, I just I think it's entertaining. Kyle's not a mean girl. She's not like Kyle doesn't do any of like hazing. Like Vicky Gunvalson, like she was a hazer. Anyone knew that came on the season, she was a hazer. I feel like Giselle's kind of picking up on that, and
Well,
I
I'm
don't like
very
it.
curious to see what happens with this girls' trip because there's a lot of strong personalities on this girls' trip right now.
There really are.
I mean, we heard about Portia and Vicky unfollowing each other, but people say, like, probably Vicky never even followed her, to be quite honest with you. I don't even know if Vicky knew who Portia was because it's Vicky.
Exactly. It's Vicky.
And it's just a matter of time before I think Giselle has it out with somebody
Sure.
because she's another one.
Probably someone who's happily married.
But
We're
actually,
happily in a
is there anybody happily married on the girls' trip? Let's think about it.
I don't know. Kyle's not, Nini's not. Well, Teresa's still in her love bubble.
Yeah.
It could be Teresa.
By the way, did you see that Teresa and her daughter Gia are opening a restaurant
Did. I
with
will
a
not
business
go
partner?
there.
No,
I will
really?
not be going there. But yes, I did see that. I did see that. I was thinking about it that it's a pretty big statement from Bravo that Teresa got on this Ultimate Girls trip and not Melissa. I mean, I know they gave her wife swap, but come on.
But it's
And the-
OGs. Isn't wait,
well,
are they
she
all
was, but
OGs?
Melissa was the first. Melissa was on the first one with Teresa. She was on the first one with Kyle.
No,
and
but I'm saying, wasn't it all original cast members from their seasons?
Portia
Because it's
wasn't
only
original. Portia wasn't an
Yes, she
original
was.
Atlanta. No, she wasn't on the first 2 seasons.
Are you sure?
She definitely was not on the first season. No, because it was
Nah, you're right. Portia probably wasn't
she definitely was not.
because she was married to that football player at first.
Cordell. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, because Cynthia wasn't even an original housewife. And I
No,
remember
Cynthia
Portia
wasn't.
coming on
Definitely.
after Cynthia because, or maybe at the same time, because I remember Peter being like, this is big. Like he's NFL. Like we got an NFL wife on. Like Peter was like, Peter was impressed by the fact that Portia was coming on the show.
That's funny.
Yeah. Maybe the other ones are OGs, but I'm just saying, I mean, they put Melissa on the first Ultimate Girls trip with Teresa and they called that OGs. But yeah, I think it's a pretty big statement by Bravo that they gave Teresa this and they gave Melissa wife swap. Because I think in comparison, this is Ultimate Girls Trip's bigger than wife swap. Who knows if they're even going to do that again?
Well, I think they're going to do wife swap again.
I mean, I think they should, but I think this is bigger. What they gave Teresa's bigger.
Actually, I don't even know how they're doing this, to be quite honest with you. It sounds like way too many moving pieces.
And the
This
fact
whole
that they're
girls' trip.
saying that they're on an RV and they're absolutely not on an RV. I mean, what are we doing? Like, don't say they're on an RV. Just say they're flying to other cities because I saw, what's her name? She was married to Keith Sweat. She was an Atlanta housewife. My memory is so bad. Lisa.
She was married to
Keith Sweat before she was married to her second husband, who I think she's divorced from him too now. Yeah. But she was in one of the clips too. So they go visit her. I don't know if she's still in Atlanta. Oh, she's probably still in Atlanta because didn't they just go to a party in Atlanta?
Maybe. But this Thursday on Watch What Happens Live, it's Kyle, Kathy, and Paris Hilton. So that means she's going to have to be in New York soon. That's a couple days away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe they're coming to Jersey and New York. You think they were just in Atlanta?
I think they were just in Atlanta, yeah.
And they gotta do Miami still. Did they do Miami yet?
Nobody from Miami's on this cast, though, are they?
I don't
Because
know.
Anna and Ace were talking about it, and I think Anna said that it was conflicting with the filming of Miami, but Miami's on a break right now. Are they even filming?
I don't think Miami's filming now.
I don't think they are.
Miami's not filming. I think it was wasn't it Anna that said that it was offered to Leah and she said she didn't wanna do it because she didn't wanna have
Yes.
any interaction with Alexia, and Alexia was
Alexia, yeah.
going to be one of the stops?
Yes. But it's interesting that nobody from Miami is representing them on the trip. But yeah, Leah Black said no, and good for her. I
Yeah,
love when people shoot Bravo down.
yeah.
You know what I want? I want a reboot of Married with Manzo. With Children. What was that called?
Manzo'd with
Manzo'd with
children, I think.
Children. I want a reboot now that Al's married and has a kid. Lauren and Vito are divorced, but co-parenting beautifully with their daughter.
Caroline is not gonna do that.
I know. I wish she would, though. Well,
She's
Bravo
suing
probably wouldn't
Bravo.
have her after that whole thing.
No, she's suing Bravo. She's not
Yeah, she's
that's not
blackballed.
happening.
Well, maybe somebody
not
else could pick it up. I love the
Hulu.
Manzos. I want to see
Hulu
them.
could pick it
What's
up.
going on?
Hulu.
Yeah, they should shop it around. And I want their cousin Candace on it too because she cracks me up.
Who's their cousin Candace?
They have a cousin Candace. She's on the podcast a lot, Dear Albie, and they talked about it one time that before they cast Melissa and Kathy Wakili, she was going to join the cast.
I didn't
But
know that.
her husband was, I guess he was an educator and had hopes of becoming like administration in a school district. And somebody said to her, like, you might not want to do that with his aspirations. So it was kind of like she kind of changed her mind and then they went in the other direction and got Melissa and Kathy. But she's
Interesting.
very funny. She's on the podcast a lot, and I think she'd be great for reality TV. And listen, by now, if her husband's a principal, it is what it is, pal.
Yeah. There you go.
Because that was years ago.
We'll have to just wait and see what happens.
Yeah,
I don't have anything else, do you?
I do not.
Okay. Thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe. Go to YouTube and subscribe, please. We need subscribers on YouTube. And tell your friends. Bye.
Bye.